Hello everyone, welcome back. And first of all, I would like to give a little bit of disclaimer. Actually, I have a lot of fever and a bit of sore throat. However, I have taken medicine, and as I mentioned, the work I am doing should not stop. I would have, at some point, maybe a few hours earlier, I was feeling that okay, let's just leave it. Why does it matter? But the work I'm doing is really, really important. So forgive me if I don't sound very enthusiastic at some places. Of course, I am still going to give my best because until and unless I give my best, I won't be able to immerse myself, right? So that's a bit of disclaimer that you might feel a bit of off when I'm speaking in this video. However, I would not let this illness affect me to stop the right thing. Firstly, what we would talk here is that we discussed up all the final model and stuff, and now we are looking for the solution itself. However, firstly, before we are looking for the solution, we need to understand that I mentioned you that you cannot do anything yourself. You need someone else. Why I told that today you will come to know about that, and also this is more like a prologue to what is coming. Prologue to how we will approach the solution process. Uh, Today won't be a very long, I guess some bit, I think 30-40 minutes. However, I'm sure that you would enjoy it thoroughly, especially the now we are coming to the solution part. Then I am sure that people's ego will try to feed on it more. But please don't watch it in in a state of restlessness. Just immerse yourself in this video and just see how you are changed from within. Of course it won't happen in one day, but still, uh, no hesitations for giving efforts, right? So as I mentioned, you can't do anything in this matter to fix your desperation. Yeah, I hope you remember that video where I wrote in big bold letters that you need someone else, you can't do it. I gave that drunk driver example who was going up on a hill. I hope you remember it. So if not, you can just go revise it, or rather after this video you can go, but not much to be used from that. However, the thing is, you can't do anything in this matter to fix your desperation. Why can't you do? Because you are still that restlessness. Even after you have gone the series, you have to gone through the series, still nothing has changed. Maybe newer dents and more desire, but the actual you is still lost, and honestly maybe you are still subject to ego. I am sure that many of you are still relating to this point. They are just telling me that just tell the solution. Don't just tell all these words. I don't want to hear the words. What's that one line, that one word that okay, do this. This is the solution. You want I am writing the solution, the word solution, and what you are seeing is that I am preventing the single one line that you think will solve years of conditioning, right? Of course, it won't. So I hope you are intelligent enough to understand it. But anyways, uh, the actual you is still lost. Some people who are actually immersed in this experience, they are already immersed, and maybe egos come, thoughts of ego will come. Of course, I am not rejecting it, but they have, for them maybe the dents have increased, but for few their dents may have been increased. Like I mentioned, the self science dent, the knowledge to know more dent, I will do nothing dent, all this curiosity dent, these all dents which yeah, maybe in some it has increased, and maybe for some there's more desire. Because let's say I have told you not to follow dents, so what you do is you tell yourself that okay, I will immerse myself, so let me follow my passion. Again, what you are trying to do is, again you are not finding this dent, so you are just going into this, not actually immersing yourself. Instead of actually immersing yourself, you are just going after dents. For some, they have found true immersion by now, but most of them still haven't. And the reason for that is, I mentioned below, is the absence of self-observation. Until and unless you observe yourself, no matter how much I tell you, of course, okay, let's not spoil it. I am coming to have written it here. You can only decrease it only by decreasing yourself. You can decrease your restlessness, that is the cause of your suffering, only by decreasing yourself. How? Why? Because you are the restlessness. You currently, maybe not, maybe you are the ocean, but you as a whole, You are a bit restlessness, as I mentioned. So, hence, the restlessness will finish only if you are finishing. Neither can live while the other ones are. This is again a Harry Potter reference. So, I'm sure that you have been fed up of my Harry Potter references, but still, I'm just very amazed to find out all these. I'm getting into my mind. Anyways, so what this means that it's basically you who are the restlessness. So you have to finish. Hence, for the restlessness to go away, you yourself have to finish. Finish means dying. No, 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 not dying. Let me just come. Don't just say that. Again, if you just doing that, okay, I have to finish myself, then let me just go die. Not dying in the physical sense. I'm coming to it. Okay. So, uh, let's say you are decreasing, let's say you are immersed, then the restlessness slowly starts dropping. Of course, it won't be a drastic change. Like, let's say you were immersed for 1 hour, then all your, let's say I'm currently 17, so let's say my 17, 16 years of experience, my conditioning or my dens will just vanish in 1 hour. Of course it will not happen. Let's say the restlessness was 100 to 80. Of course, again, this is a very large number. Let's say 99. Let's say from 100 to 99, small change, but still dense exist but with lesser intensity. Now you are not, previously what you were doing is that give me this, give me that, give me those, everything you wanted to clutch it. Now you are doing next, okay, give me this, okay, give me that, okay, okay, I also want that. So basically, dense are still existing, of course. You just can't finish them up so easily. However, they are less intense. Now you are not craving, as much you were craving before for something new, right? So that's the thing. Why, the reason why you can't do it, because you are the restlessness yourself. Currently you are the restlessness yourself, hence you can't do it. Because for what is the main goal? To finish off the restlessness. And to finish off the restlessness, you have to finish yourself. So for finishing yourself, of course, you can't do it, like, not physically finishing yourself, finishing yourself mentally, right? So what do I mean by that? I'll come to it. Okay. So I have divided the solution into three steps, which of course I will explain. But as I mentioned, this solution is possible externally only. Like the entire step, it is possible through external measures, not by, you yourself can't do anything. Why? Because again, this thing you have to finish yourself, right? It's not possible for you. So possible externally only. However, I also fall in this. See, 99.9% chance, 99.9% probability that someone external has to help you, and a very really small number, 0.01% of the people, they do it by ruthless self inquiry. That is when maybe, let's say, they read books. Let's say they all read all these Vedant and all these. They take knowledge basically. They just they just push themselves, to the darkest of the zones to self-observe and basically not self-observe, inquire themselves that where am I? Like, let's say Buddha, for example, and my teacher who taught me all this, he also was from this category. Uh, he also had Ruth. He himself mentioned that he fell into this category, right? However, of course, I fall into this category. So if you want to, learn more from him, you can go to his channel Life Unplugged. Of course, uh, he's really. Of course, I'm very grateful for him. But the point here is that the solution which I am going to mention is possible externally only in the 99.9% cases. Let's say 10 lakh people watch this video, maybe one or maybe 10 people will be able to do this. I mean, by ruthless self inquiry. Rest all, the maximum probability is that you fall in this category. So now, what are the steps of the solution? Step one: meet an external ocean. External ocean in the sense that someone else who is immersed. Like, let's say currently I am immersed, and I am basically that. I told you that you were the restlessness, and apart from the restlessness, you were something else also, the ocean. You were immersed into this deep ocean, and where you just lost yourself. These all worldly things did not even matter to you. So The step one is to meet an external ocean. Like let's say you met me or maybe some other person who is giving this knowledge to you. Anyone, you have to meet some external ocean, or let's say you meet some immersion doesn't only mean that ocean doesn't only mean that on this purpose. You can maybe let's you met a very good friend of you who plays very good cricket and he teaches you cricket and you are just immersed in it. So that is the first step. First you need to, this is the, I'm talking about 99.9%, and the 0.01% how they do, they just read through books. I am not much accomplished into that, but still I'm talking on moral general sense. So the first step to the fixing your entire life, your existence, is to meet the external ocean. So when you meet the external ocean, two things can happen. Okay, two things can happen. First is that you are with that external ocean being in ego. Like might be you are watching this video in ego, as I mentioned that just tell me the solution, just tell me the solution. Your restlessness is just highlighting, completely highlighting. And case two is that you are also immersed and following your self-science dent. See, if your self-science dent is not there, then after some time you would automatically shift into this ego phase. Because why? Because you have to learn that why is this immersion the better thing instead of this following restlessness. So if you are just not knowing that no, I am not, if you don't know that I am restless, then how would you prevent yourself from being restless, right? So that's where knowledge comes into play. So either you are in the external ocean being in ego, that okay, just tell me the solution, just tell me that I don't want to hear anything. Basically, let's say you are bunching on a bit of popcorn and okay, let's see what it tells. Okay, you are not vigorously taking down my notes, or maybe you are not listening. You are just let's say I'm sleeping, so let's just for relaxation, let's watch it. Maybe in that state you slowly you move towards this, but that is the case one. You are being with that external ocean, being in ego. Case two, you are also immersed and following a self-science den. So you have to immerse yourself and then you need to follow your self-science den. This is basically the solution steps, right? So for the solution itself to occur, you need first of course you need to immerse yourself and then you need to follow your self-science den, because once you start feeding yourself on this immersion and this effect combines and you find something magical, which of course I am going to explain. So that is the step one of the solution, which I think if you are not in this case, in not watching this in ego, probably you are in this case too currently, as far as I hope, if you are seriously following this series from the start. So this step one is I assume it's complete for you. Step two, which I have told you, many times, self observation. Realizing that you are not the ego and restlessness, you are something more, the real you. Of course, you are the ego and restlessness if you are just watching this video in rest and desperation. However, you are something more. You need to realize that you are two things. You are this ego and you are this ocean as well. You are not the ego itself. You are not the dent itself. You are something different, the real, the actual you, the ocean also. Realizing that you are the two, you are, I've written here, realize that you are two. Two in the sense, ego and ocean. When you are self observing your actions, thoughts, the entire biological loop of pleasure and pain, the thing I told, you take some food, tongue receptors get activated, hormones get released, dentry is programmed, and then all your emotions and all, you need to just deeply observe. I have helped you self observe in many ways, but again, you should not stop there. You should question each and every action you do, right? Self observe each and every action you do, right? So this I've also told you to do many times, that continuously self observe yourself, observe yourself, sorry. If you don't do it, then of course maybe you did this, but the very next, I'm talking about the complete solution, not just partial, that okay, if this thing is complete, 50% would be the problem would be fixed. No, it's either the complete solution or nothing. So this is the step two of the solution. You need to self observe yourself. You need to observe yourself in each and every action you do. Let's say you are currently watching this video, observe yourself. Let's say you are currently having thought that okay, let's close this video. Like currently I'm having the thought that okay, let's just pause this video, because again I'm feeling very bulky in my head because of my fever. But again, I'm observing myself. This is again the basically thought, you can say, that is coming to my mind. Again, the pleasure pain game, the same thing, the dent is being activated and all. So this ego will try to activate, and what you do is you observe. Who observes? The ocean. The ocean is the observer. I know it might sound a bit poetic that, oh, ocean is observing, and I know I'm getting activated and ego, but it's really this abstract model is the only thing that will understand, make you understand the life, the solution. So once you have realized that actually these two are your main culprits, sorry, not culprits, these two are the main, what can I say, themes around which your life revolves, then you can proceed on to the next step, which is I will tell. Uh, don't worry. Uh, However, let me just give an example that. Mm, Hmm. That let's say you are going now. Currently, it's 12:30. So I have to go eat lunch now because I eat lunch around this time. So what my mind is telling me is that, or maybe some people, let's say you are watching some or another hour. So what my mind is telling me, just close this video. You're feeling weak. Maybe you just take rest and then you go lunch and have it. Of course, I'm not choosing consciously. I'm not choosing to follow this den. Of course, maybe if this condition gets too worse, then I have to. However, each and every action, each and every thought you have, just keep observing yourself. The ocean will act as an observer. That okay, currently I'm the ocean. So what my thoughts is that, okay, let me just get little bit of rest, or maybe you are like, let's pause this video and let's do something else. Let's watch another video. I hope it's clear. There is the second step, self observation. And here, while you self observe, I would hazardous or dangerous, some be cautious points I would want to tell you that, be cautious point. Observe without any conclusion. Be neutral on your observation. Don't be biased towards your ego. Your mind will play games and try to give you conclusions. Like currently, the same example I'm taking, right? Let's say I'm feeling very feverish. So my mind is giving me this, and my dent is giving me this that thought that, okay, just go rest. And my mind is concluding, the ego is concluding that why should I rest? Because I am feeling very feverish and I need to rest, so that I can work for my exams and all these project. Again, don't just don't just give conclusions. I have taken another example here, so I will tell you that also. But what I mean in general is that don't conclude that, okay, I am doing this. That means this is the reason I'm doing this. Don't conclude. Just observe. Just question the observation itself. Just observe the question conclusion itself. I've written here also one example: male ego and GF possession. Justification of male ego and GF possession. That male ego will say, currently that I am possessed with my GF. First, you observe yourself and you find out that you are possessed with your GF. Now, the ego will try to manipulate you. Will play the mind will play games with you and tell you why are you possessed? Why are you so possessive? Then the mind, the ego will input thoughts, logics that it's important to be possessive because now this is Kali Yug. Of course, it is. But people will say that, oh, she might run away. Who knows? Might be something attacks her, or maybe someone stalks on her. Someone flirts with her. Again, that then your mind concludes that I need to. I need to be positive because who knows what happens, what might happen if my GF goes away, right? Another example, I hope this one is clear. Another example is that observing for the sake of observing. I'm eating this cake to observe myself, extreme logics. Yeah. Now, some people, when I have told them, they just told me that when I have told them to self observe, their ego gives them this logics, that let me eat this food. Why? Actually, their mind is targeting the pleasure. And the ego, they tell him that, okay, eat this food because I want to self observe myself. Why you want to eat this food? Because I want to self observe myself. This is again the conclusion itself, that why am I eating this food? Why am I performing this action? Because sir has told to self observe, and I am doing this for the sake of observing myself. Again, this is just another conclusion that your, what can I say, bullshit mind is giving you. So what can be the method? Of course, these conclusions will come because it's not easy to remove all these years of conditioning. Hence, when you get these conclusions, observe them also and find out from where they're coming. Whenever you get these conclusions that okay, kindly the conclusion is that okay, I'm eating this because I need to self-observe myself. So question yourself, where is this coming from? Is this coming from that immersion state, the ocean, or is it coming from the ego, which basically wants to have the pleasure? Again, this also a question that whether it is coming from the ocean because and it can never come. Believe me, why it can never come, I will also explain. From it can these things can never come from the ocean. These things can only come from the ego itself. So the male ego will tell that okay, I need to be positive because who knows, my girlfriend, danger, and maybe someone stalks on her. What if she runs away? She or else she will run away if I don't be positive, right? So that's the thing. That's again an observation. That's again a conclusion. Just observe where that conclusion came from. From an ego that okay, the relationship didn't. Maybe that relationship didn't. Might be it's now filled. Who knows if some agent is coming and trying to steal away the water. Basically that thing. That basically exactly that thing is happening. So I think I've emphasized enough to be on to you in this be cautious point. So always whenever you're just observing yourself, uh, just don't listen to the ego. Don't just give conclusions that okay, I'm observing and the observation means that okay, this and why I need to, why is this because of this. Just that's again just observe. That's again just concluding that okay, I've done this. Why I've done this because of this, and that you need to consider that also, that why are you concluding your conclusions. Basically you need to observe each and every bit of conclusions you get, because the more you observe, the more you question the conclusions, the more you will see that the conclusions slowly breaking, because of course they're coming arising from the ego, and the truth will prevail, right? So hope step 2 is clear, and of course be aware of the self cautious point, sorry, be cautious point. And now the final step, step 3. I hope you can see it. Immerse yourself in the ocean of right and truth. I'm sure that you have understood that immerse yourself. Fine, immerse. I know, sir, that it gives me, that it basically fixes my suffering. However, this right and truth, what is this? I couldn't exactly get it. Like, what is it? Like, immersion and self observing, fine. Step 3, immerse yourself in the ocean of right and truth. Hmm. Sir, what is right? For me, it's right to make money. For me, it's right to make, wife and have kids. For some, terrorist or some brainwashed person, their right is to kill people and promote their religion. That 9/11 case, the terrorists were brainwashed into believe that okay, if you don't kill them, then basically that of course many people died in the 9/11 situation. So for the the attackers, what was the right thing according to them, that okay, we need to crash the plane. However, of course, for us, let's say someone's father, or let's say someone's child, whoever was working there, of course it was wrong. And what is the truth? Some people will say honesty, but is being honest always the truth? What exactly is the truth? Like God, God is the truth, or God maybe doesn't exist, or maybe that God is a bit more philosophical. But what exactly is right and truth? What like you mean that I need to immerse myself in the right action, the right action? Of course, I have to immerse in, but what type of action I have to immerse in? Right action. So how will I know, and with basis of whom will I decide that the action is right or wrong? Because right and wrong are completely subjective. That for me, left is something else, right is something else. I'm talking about the directions. Let's say I'm facing this front, so this is my front and that is my back. If I face on the opposite side, then that would be my front and this would be my back. So these are just completely subjective. So according to whom are you talking about this right action? According to yourself, sir. You will tell us what's right. No, I will not. You will find out it yourself. I will, of course, guide you, and why I will also explain that why it's right action. But of course, you need to observe yourself that really is this the right action. If someone comes and tells you earn money, earn money. Is this the right action or is it just arising from dens? Identify this. So that's what the point of the next video onwards would be. This is like a prologue, as I mentioned. What is right action? And after that, we would finish off this series, and slowly we would also immerse ourselves in this right action program. Because of course, only teaching doesn't help. You need to apply them also, right? So right action. What is right action? Action spines are immersion. Is what is right, what is truth. uh, self Maybe self science is right action, or maybe spirituality, or maybe crickets or sports may be the right action, maybe earning money, maybe having sex is the right action, sir. What is the right action? Maybe killing others is the right action. So for some people it's like uh, let's say some people uh, let's say someone's girlfriend has been killed by a person. So for that person, what would the right action be? To kill the murderer, right? Kill the murderer. However, of course, from the, let's say the murderer also has a family. So in point of view of the murderer, of course, that would be wrong action. So it's just completely relative. So how do we actually decide what is the absolute truth, the absolute right, and towards what we should strive for? That is the point of discussion from the next video. Of course, as I mentioned, the video would be short of 30 minutes. So we have finished today's prologue. So I am really hoping that you will enjoy and you will learn more in the upcoming videos, which is basically the main plan of action, you can say. But of course, I would again ask you to go through this once more, and don't forget this be cautious point, very very important. Don't just observe your conclusions as well, and now don't just again. It might happen that you are self-observing yourself, and you are doing like, okay, let me just guess what's the right action and right truth. Maybe when I go to search next video, then I will tally that whether, okay, this point I mentioned it is in search video. That means I'm right. So again, that's what again you are doing. You are self-observing, but again you are forming conclusions. Don't do that. So I hope that's the all I have to speak for today. Sorry if a bit felt a bit off, but again, we'll of course cannot prevent this right thing to happen. We cannot prevent this work to stop. So, anyways, see you later and goodbye.